In the spotlight tonight, Neil Stewart from Reading, an IT director. His specialist subject is British history post-1945. Jennifer Smallman from Shropshire, a librarian. Hers is 20th century fashion. Clive McLaughlin from Leeds, a postman, and his subject is English and Scottish racecourses and their races. And Andy Paige from Merseyside, a civil servant, whose subject is the Academy Awards. Hello and welcome to Mastermind with me, John Humphreys. The rules, as ever, are simple. Each of the contenders has chosen a specialist subject, and that takes care of the first 2 minutes of questions for each of them. Then the second 2 minutes is based on general knowledge questions. The winner tonight goes through to the next stage, the quarter-finals, and then, who knows, the final. The big prize is a glass bowl, and much more importantly, the highly coveted title, Mastermind 2003. So, let's have our first contender, please. Your name?
Neil Stewart.
Your occupation?
IT Director.
And your specialist subject?
British history post-1945.
British history post-1945 in 2 minutes, starting now. By what name is the 16th of September 1992, when Britain was forced out of the ERM, generally known?
Black Monday.
No, Black Wednesday. Which village near Scunthorpe was devastated in June 74 after a massive explosion at the local Nipro chemical plant?
Flixon.
Flixborough. What was the name of the pilot who took the British Concorde on its maiden flight in April 1969?
Pass.
In September 78, the Bulgarian defector Georgy Markov was killed in London after being stabbed with a poisoned what?
Umbrella.
Correct. What was the name of the British rocket first tested at Spade Adam in Cumbria in August 59, which was suddenly cancelled as a weapons system in April 1960?
Blue Streak.
Correct. What was the name of the hotel in Kenya where Queen Elizabeth II was informed of the death of her father?
Treetops.
Correct. Which North Devon resort was devastated by a disastrous flood that swept through the town on the night of August the 15th, 1952?
Ilfracombe.
No, Lynmouth. In which village near Rotherham was the British Steel Corporation coking plant that was the scene of violent confrontations between police and striking miners in 1984?
Pass.
Who resigned as Chancellor of the Exchequer in November 1947 after confessing he disclosed his tax proposals to a journalist minutes before delivering his budget speech?
Hugh Dalton.
Correct. On which warship did Harold Wilson and Ian Smith hold talks about the future of Rhodesia in October 1968?
HMS Tiger.
No, HMS Fearless. After the death of John Smith in 94, who, as Deputy Leader of the Labour Party, became interim party leader prior to the election of Tony Blair?
Robin Cook.
No, Margaret Beckett. At the Festival of Britain, built after an open competition, what was the name of a vertical feature in steel and aluminium by Powell and Moyer?
Atomium.
Skylon, a fire at which nuclear power plant in October 1957, causing a massive leak of radioactivity, led to thousands of gallons of contaminated milk from farms within 500 square kilometres being poured away.
Windscale.
Windscale was the correct answer. You passed on 2 questions. The village in Rotherham, the infamous village, it became infamous anyway, they had all that violence in 1984. It was Orgreave, and the name of the pilot who took the British Concorde on its maiden flight in April 1969 was Brian Trubshaw. At the end of that round then, Mr. Stewart, you scored 5 points. Can we have our second contender, please? And your name is?
Jennifer Smallman.
And your occupation?
A librarian.
And your specialist subject?
20th century fashion.
20th century fashion in 2 minutes, starting now. Who founded a fashion and furnishing empire which began with printed tea towels and headscarves and used many floral motifs based on 18th and 19th century designs?
Laura Ashley.
Correct. In 1942, Christian Dior moved to which fashion house where he worked alongside Pierre Balmain?
Pass.
Which name did designer Elsa Schiaparelli give to the vivid shade of pink she popularised in the 1930s?
Shocking pink.
Correct. Which fashion designer married Alexander Plunkett Green in 1957 and with him started the first boutique in Kings Road, Chelsea?
Mary Quant.
Correct. John Galliano, the Gibraltar-born son of a Spanish plumber, became the designer for which French fashion house in 1996?
Dior.
Correct. The tight-fitting sleeve which balloons out from the elbow to the shoulder and fashionable in the early 20th century is known by what name?
Leg of mutton.
Correct. Which designer born in Piacenza in 1935 studied medicine at Milan University before becoming a window dresser?
Pass.
Which fashion house established by an English-born designer in 1858 was finally taken over by Paquin in 1954?
Worth.
Correct. Harem pants and turbans were fashion items that became popular after which ballet impresario introduced them with his ballet russe?
Sergei Diaghilev.
Correct. Which French designer who opened his own house in 1903 introduced the hobble skirt a few years later?
Paquin.
No, Paul Poiret. Which Spanish-born designer in 1939 introduced a dropped shoulder line with a nipped-in waist and rounded hips that prefigured Dior's new look?
Balenciaga.
Correct. Which designer known as the space-age designer introduced mini dresses with pants in the early 60s before Mary Quant?
Pierre Courrèges.
Correct. Joe Corey, co-founder of the erotic underwear company Agent Provocateur, is the son of which fashion designer?
Vivienne Westwood.
Correct. The original of which brand of boot was called the 1460 because the first pair rolled off the production line at Wollaston, Northants on April the 1st, 1960.
Doc Martens.
Correct. Which American designer introduced, I've started so I'll finish, introduced a prairie look in the 1970s featuring flounced white petticoats beneath denim skirts?
Ralph Lauren.
You took a guess and you got it right. You passed on 2 questions. The designer born in Piacenza in 1935 was Armani, Giorgio Armani. How do you do it all the time? And in 1942, Christian Dior moved to Lelong. However, Jennifer Smallman, you scored 12 points. And our third contender, please. And your name is?
Clive McLaughlin.
Your profession?
Postman.
And your chosen subject?
English and Scottish racecourses and their races.
2 minutes on racecourses and races starting now. On October the 30th, 1989, which racecourse became the first to stage a meeting on an all-weather track?
Lingfield.
Correct. Perth, Ayr and Newton Abbot are geographically the most northern, western and southern courses in Britain. Which is the most eastern?
Yarmouth.
Great Yarmouth. Correct. On which course in 1886 did Bendigo win the first ever £10,000 race to be run in England?
Newmarket.
No, Sandown Park. Which handicap steeplechase inaugurated at Sandown in April 57 was the first race to benefit from commercial sponsorship?
The King George V.
No, the Whitbread Gold. Which city's racecourse was laid out at its present site in 1892 by the Colic Racing and Sporting Company?
Pass.
During World War II, how did the 1,000 guineas and the 2,000 guineas change while still being run at Newmarket?
Pass.
Which part of the Newmarket July course is named after the owner of the first Derby winner, Diomed?
The Rowley Mile.
The Bunbury Mile. Which 2-mile hurdle run at Hurst Park from 1939 to 62 was revived at Cheltenham's April meeting in 1965 and transferred to the festival in 1968?
Pass.
Which British racing first did Hamilton Park claim on 18th of June 1947?
Night meeting.
It was the first evening meeting. Yes. Which Midlands course completely encloses Lammas Field?
Wolverhampton.
Warwick. In 1915, when the War Office took over control of Aintree, where was a new course built to accommodate the Grand National?
Gatwick.
Yes. Which Duke was commanded by Queen Anne to lay out a course for horses to gallop at full stretch near the village of Eastcote on the edge of Windsor Great Park?
Marlborough.
Duke of Somerset. The Westbury Stakes run at Sandown in April was renamed in 1987 in memory of which racing personality who had died the previous year?
Pass.
In August 86, at which course did Princess Anne ride Gulfland to victory in the Mamessian Stakes to become the first member of the royal family to ride a winner since 1675?
Ascot.
It was Redcar. You passed on 4 questions. The Westbury Stakes run at Sandown was renamed in honour of Sir Gordon Richards. The 2-mile hurdle run at Hurst Park was revived and known as the Triumph Hurdle. You knew all these, didn't you?
Yeah, I knew that one.
During World War II, the 1,000 guineas and the 2,000 guineas changed. They were run on the July course instead of the rolling mile. And the racecourse laid out at its present site in 1892 by the Collick Racing and Sporting Company was at Nottingham. Clive McLaughlin, you scored 4 points. And our fourth contender, please. And your name is?
Andy Paige.
Your job?
I'm a civil servant.
And your chosen subject?
The Academy Awards.
Academy Awards in 2 minutes starting now. Which 6-year-old received a special miniature Academy Award in grateful recognition of her outstanding contribution to screen entertainment during the year 1934?
Shirley Temple.
Correct. Who, with Barry Morrow, won the Best Original Screenplay Oscar in 1988 for the film Rain Man?
Barry Levinson.
Ronald Bass. Who, in March 1973, sent the actress Maria Cruz, dressed as a Red Indian, to the Academy Award ceremony to refuse the Oscar he had won in protest against the treatment of American Indians?
Marlon Brando.
Correct. Who directed the film The Treasure of the Sierra Madre, in which his father, Walter, won Best Supporting Actor Oscar?
John Huston.
Correct. Which Oscar-winning film of the 1950s was the first to have 3 members of its male cast nominated in the Best Supporting Actor category?
On the Waterfront.
Correct. Tom Hanks won the Best Actor award in consecutive years for his performances in Philadelphia and Forrest Gump. The only time that had happened before was in the 30s. Who was it then?
Spencer Tracy.
Correct. Which film, based on the life of the Nobel Prize winner John Forbes Nash, won Best Picture at the 2002 Oscars?
A Beautiful Mind.
Correct. For which 1981 film, in which he also starred as the idealist journalist John Reed, did Warren Beatty win an Oscar for Best Director in 1981?
Reds.
Correct. Diane West won a Best Supporting Actress Oscar for her role as which fictional Broadway star in the film Bullets Over Broadway?
Helen Sinclair.
Correct. Which folk singer and actor won a Best Supporting Actor Oscar for the 58 film The Big Country?
Bill Ives.
Correct. For which 72 film starring Goldie Hawn did Eileen Heckert win a Best Supporting Actress Oscar?
Butterflies Are Free.
Correct. Carly Simon won the Academy Award for Best Original Song for which song that featured in the film Working Girl?
Let the River Run.
Correct. Which 1946 Coming Home film starring Myrna Loy, Frederick March and Dana Andrews picked up 7 Oscars?
Best Years of Our Lives.
Correct. The 1964 film Beckett was nominated for 12 Oscars, although Edward Anhalt was the only person to win 1. In which category was it?
Best Screenplay.
Best Adapted Screenplay. Which actress, when she was... I'll started the question, so I'll finish it. Which actress, when she was nominated for the Best Supporting Actress Oscar for Adaptation, achieved a record 13 nominations?
Meryl Streep.
And that was correct as well. So you passed on no questions at all. And Andy Page, you scored 14 points. So that brings us to the end of our round on specialist subjects. Let's have a look at the scores. In 4th place is Clive McLaughlin with 4 points. In 3rd place, Neil Stewart with 5 points. In 2nd place, Jennifer Smallman with 12 points. In the lead is Andy Page with 14 points. So on to round 2 now and our general knowledge section. But remember, if there is a tie at the end of this round, and I suppose there could be on the basis of those scores, then the number of passes will be taken into consideration and the contender with the fewest passes will be declared the winner. If there's still a tie on points, then there will be a 5-question playoff. So on with this general knowledge section, and let me first ask Clive McLaughlin to join us again. And... you got 4 points. Just to remind me, you said you were a postman.
Yes, I am.
But that's only sort of partly true, isn't it? Because you were a lawyer before.
I have been a solicitor, yes.
And you stopped being a solicitor in order to become a postman, which is...
It's a long story,
a bit unusual, really.
It's a long
Well, don't give us
story.
the long version, just the short version. Why
I took early retirement and made a big mistake in doing so. And I decided that I needed more income. And so I took a job as a postman.
You've done a few different jobs.
Yes, I have, yes.
What's it like being a postman after doing those other sort of quite high-powered jobs?
I enjoy it very much indeed. The only difficulties are, as you can perhaps see from my hands, letterboxes. And particularly letterboxes that are right down there. They're not our favourites.
Well, let's hope everybody has taken note of that. You want nice, simple letterboxes in the middle of the
Yes.
door so you
Nice
don't have to
wide
bend
ones
down.
as well.
Big wide ones,
Yes.
and they don't... Right,
Yes.
got all that. Right, we've dealt with letterboxes. Let's now deal with your command of general knowledge. You have 4 points, as I say. Let's see if you can improve on that. And you have 2 minutes to do so, starting now. Queen Sophia of Spain is the daughter of a former king of which country?
Bulgaria.
Greece. From the Old English for loaf mass, what is the name of the feast day on August the 1st, which celebrated the first fruits of the harvest?
Lammas.
Correct. Which singer first topped the UK singles chart in 1959 with Dream Lover?
Roy Orbison.
Bobby Darin. In the Roman Catholic Church, what name is given to the Assembly of Cardinals which meets to elect a new pope?
Convocation.
The conclave. Whose painting The Persistence of Memory features watches bent and flowing as if made of wax?
Salvador Dali.
Correct. Port-au-Prince is the capital, chief port and commercial centre of which West Indian country?
Haiti.
Correct. The newspaper L'Humanité is the organ of which French political party?
The Communists.
Correct. Which British Prime Minister was MP for Limehouse Stepney from 1922 to 50 and West Walthamstow from 50 to 55?
Pass.
What completes the following well-known saying? Marry in haste and...
Repent at leisure.
Correct. The principal characters of which 18th century play are the Hardcastle family, the idle and ignorant Tony Lumpkin, and young Marla, who is shy with everyone except barmaids.
School for Scandal.
She stoops to conquer. Which British monarch was born in The Hague on the 14th of November, 1650?
William of Orange.
Correct. The name of which member of the weasel family, valued for its fur, is also the heraldic term for black?
Sable.
Correct. Which British Guards regiment, founded around 1650, is named after a border village on the River Tweed?
The Coldstream Guards.
Correct. Jimmy Porter is the principal character of which John Osborne play?
Look back in anger.
Correct. Which city is the capital of the United States state of Washington?
Tacoma.
Olympia. Who in the friendly against Australia in February 2003 became at the age of 17 years and 111 days the youngest ever footballer to win a full England cap?
Wayne Rooney.
Correct. In the International Morse code, which letter is represented by ...
B.
It was I.
Right.
You were a few out there. Clive McLaughlin, you passed on one question. The British Prime Minister, who was MP for Limehouse in 1922, and then West Walthamstow, was Clement Attlee. Became Earl Attlee, of course. So that was your one pass. However, you now have a total of 14 points. And now may I have Neil Stewart. Ask him to join us, please. Well, you got 5 points and 2 passes in the last round, Mr. Stewart. British history post-1945. Is it really history or is it sort of journalism if it's that recent, do you think?
I think it depends which age group you're coming from.
And in your case?
I should have done better on it. There were a couple where I was 50-50, but anyway, water under the bridge, isn't it?
So, let's test your general knowledge. With this round, you have 2 minutes, starting now. Which composer's Ninth Symphony, first performed in 1824, is known as the Choral?
Beethoven.
Correct. Which American soldier was promoted to general in June 2000, appointed Commander-in-Chief, United States Central Command?
Tommy Franks.
Correct. Hematite is the principal ore of which metal?
Zinc.
Iron. In which country is the M Valley the original home of Emmental cheese?
Netherlands.
Switzerland. Now found in Britain, a muntjac is a small Asiatic species of which animal?
Deer.
Correct. In the 1930s, which American author wrote the books Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn based on his hand-to-mouth existence in Paris and New York?
Henry Miller.
Correct. Which city, capital of the Bouches-du-Rhône department, is France's second largest city and its principal commercial seaport?
Marseille.
Correct. What was the Beatles' last #1 single in Britain?
Let it be.
The Ballad of John and Yoko. What completes the following well-known saying? The road to hell is paved with...
Good intentions.
Correct. Which compound of hydrogen with the chemical formula H2O2 is used in disinfectants and as a bleaching agent for cloth and hair?
Alcohol.
No, it's hydrogen peroxide. Who in the Bible was the wife of Isaac and mother of the twin sons Jacob and Esau?
Pass.
Which organisation held its first get-together at Brownsea Island in Poole Harbour in July 1907?
Cows Racing Club.
Boy Scouts. Which Prussian general was, with von Hindenburg, mainly responsible for Germany's military strategy during the later stages of the First World War?
Pass.
In medicine, what is the alternative name for tetanus?
Lockjaw.
Correct. Who was the victorious general at the Battle of Cannae in 216 BC?
Augustus.
Hannibal. What name is given to the point in the orbit of a planet at which it is furthest from the sun?
Apogee.
Aphelion. Which British monarch was born in Osnabrück in the electorate of Hanover on May the 28th, 1660?
George II.
You were very nearly there. It was George I, but you got it almost right, not quite right enough. Neil Stewart, you had 2 passes. The Prussian general, mainly responsible for Germany's military strategy during the later stages of the First World War, was von Ludendorff. In the Bible, the wife of Isaac, the mother of Jacob and Esau, was Rebecca. Neil Stewart, 12 points in total. And now, would Jennifer Smallman join us, please? And you're a librarian.
I am indeed, yes.
Does it worry you that libraries are going out of fashion?
They're not. We're extremely busy and very popular.
Lots are closing, though, aren't they? Or they're
Well-
turning them into these sort of places where you get lots of computers and no books. Or perhaps
We
that's
have
just-
lots of computers. We also have lots of books
and people
and
are
lots of
still-
readers.
Let's return to the scoring. You had 2 passes in the last round, but you scored 12 points. So, let's see how you do in the general knowledge section. You have 2 minutes starting now. The Roman province of Lusitania corresponded approximately to which modern-day country?
Spain.
Portugal. Which old unit of measurement was based on the length of a single grain of cereal?
Pass.
Which writer won the 1986 Booker Prize for his novel The Old Devils?
Kingsley Amis.
Correct. Which canal connects the west and east coasts of Scotland by linking the lochs in the Great Glen?
The Caledonian Canal.
Correct. What name is given to a type of green tea, the rolled leaves of which are similar in appearance to small shot?
Gunpowder.
Correct. American socialite Barbara Hutton, who died in 1979, was the granddaughter of the founder of which chain stores?
Woolworth.
Correct. The Torino and Palermo scales give a measure of the impact hazards of NEOs. What is an NEO?
Pass.
Sir Keith Holyoake and Sir Robert Muldoon have both been long-serving Prime Ministers of which Commonwealth country?
New Zealand.
Correct. In the film The Truman Show, which actor played the title character who discovered that his life is the plot of a television soap opera?
Jim Carrey.
Correct. What is the popular name of the third movement of Debussy's suite Begamesque?
Gollywog's Cakewalk.
Nope. Claire de Lune. Mahe is the largest of which group of islands in the Indian Ocean?
Pass.
What popular term was coined in the United States in the 1980s for someone who sits at home watching television?
Couch potato.
Correct. The cast iron plant popular in Victorian parlours is more commonly known by what name?
Aspidistra.
Correct. Which monsters of Greek mythology were portrayed as winged female creatures whose hair consisted of snakes?
The Gorgons.
Correct. Which film comedy starring Barbara Streisand and Ryan O'Neill took its title from a cartoon character's catchphrase?
What's Up, Doc?
Correct. Who wrote the play The Browning version about a repressed and unpopular schoolmaster, Crocker Harris?
Terence Rattigan.
Correct. Which guitarist and vocalist left the Hollies in 1968 to form a supergroup with David Crosby and Stephen Stills?
Nash.
Correct. The hammer, the anvil and the stirrup are connected bones in which part? I've started, so I'll finish. In which part of the body?
The Ear.
The ear is correct. You had 3 passes. The old unit of measurement based on the length of a single grain of cereal was the barleycorn. The group of islands of which Mahe is the largest is the Seychelles, and the Torino and Palermo scales give a measure of the impact of NEOs, which are near-Earth objects. However, you now have a total of 25 points. And finally, our last contender, our highest scorer so far, Andy Paige. And your passion, is passion the right word, is for Academy Awards?
Cinema in general, but yes, I've got a definite interest and passion in the Academy Awards.
You hold a world record.
I used to hold a world
Used to
record.
hold a
Used to
world
hold a world
record.
record,
For,
yeah. After dinner speaking.
because you were the absolutely finest in the whole world, or what?
No, because I went on for 24 hours.
Which I'd have thought would make you the least popular after dinner.
Yes. So
But it was a contest, obviously.
The record existed at 18 hours, and someone challenged me to do it and raise some money for charity.
And they sat through it?
Well, the worst moment was when I had 11 people up there at about 2 o'clock in the morning, 8 of whom were asleep. So,
What were you talking about?
at one point, I did a whole hour on the 86 bus route from Garston to the city centre in Liverpool. So
I wonder why they didn't find
it's
that
hard to
fascinating.
imagine it, isn't it? Yeah.
Extraordinary they fell asleep doing that one. Yes. Right. Well, I hope these questions will be marginally more interesting than that. Here we go. You have 2 minutes on general knowledge starting now. Which former Foreign Secretary resigned from the government over the war with Iraq in March 2003?
Robin Cook.
Correct. What term is used for the 20th part of a ream, 24 or sometimes 25 sheets of paper?
A choir.
Correct. In architecture, what name is given to a support, usually of masonry, projecting from the outer wall of a building?
Buttress.
Correct. Which writer and academic's novel, The Silmarillion, was first published posthumously in 1977?
J.R.R. Tolkien.
Correct. Which French city stands at the confluence of the rivers Rhone and Saône?
Lyon.
Correct. In cricket, whose 140 not out for Australia against India in March 2003 was the highest ever score in a World Cup final?
Steve Waugh.
Ricky Ponting. Michael Stipe is the lead vocalist with which American rock group?
R.E.M.
Correct. The 3 Punic Wars were fought from 264 to 146 BC between Rome and which other city-state?
Carthage.
Correct. What name is given to the central tag-like structure that hangs from the palate over the back part of the tongue?
Uvula.
Correct. A museum to which American artist can be visited in Pittsburgh, where he was born and grew up?
William Penn.
Andy Warhol. Which froth-like volcanic glassy rock, which is so full of gas cavities that it floats on water, is used for cleaning and polishing?
Quartz.
Pumice. Which post was held by various members of the Pierpoint family of Yorkshire from 1901 to 1956?
Hangman.
Correct. In Scottish law, there are 3 verdicts a jury may bring in: guilty, not guilty, and...
Not proven.
Not proven. Correct. Which cathedral city in the south of England gives its name to a type of music stand?
Winchester.
Canterbury. The brewer Sir Benjamin Lee Guinness became the first Lord Mayor of which city in 1851?
Dublin.
Correct. Indica or long grain and japonica or short grain are 2 of the main types of which cereal?
Rice.
Correct. Which patriotic song with words by A.C. Benson is the finale of Elgar's coronation ode for Edward VII?
Land of Hope and Glory.
Land of Hope and Glory is correct. And you had 14 points, you may well say. You had 14 points in the first round. You have now scored another 13, giving you a total, Andy Paige, of 27 points. So at the end of the general knowledge round, let's look at the scores. In 4th place with 12 points is Neil Stewart. In 3rd place with 14 points, Clive McLaughlin. In 2nd place with 25 points is Jennifer Smallman, so she may yet secure a place in the quarter-finals. And in 1st place with 27 points, Andy Paige. So that means that Andy Paige goes through to the next round, the quarter-final stage. Congratulations. Please join us next time for more Masterminds, and thank you for watching tonight. Goodbye.
Transported to 1930s London, Stephen Pollicot's new drama follows a black jazz band at a time of extraordinary change. Dancing on the Edge begins tonight at 9. Next, wartime film archive of the Home Guard on Real History of Britain.